Two sisters head to a sleepy Colorado mountain town, and upon arriving, they quickly discover that something is very wrong.
Jenny! Go, stand over there, go!
Everyone appears to be either missing or dead, and machinery, particularly transportation, seems to be failing. Eventually, the sisters meet up with 3 police officers, led by Ben Affleck.
How you doing? Alright, what the hell's going on here?
They continue their investigation, and eventually something reveals itself to them. A clue left behind on a mirror leads to a tabloid writer, played by Peter O'Toole. He's written extensively on situations just like this one, and the military brings him to the town to assist in finding out exactly what's going on. Phantoms, which was written by Dean Koontz and is based on his own novel, is a very uneven movie. The first act, it's great. The initial investigation is a lot of fun, trying to figure out what the heck is happening in this movie. When the Waspra thing shows up, it's a bit of a letdown. You think the whole thing is just going to be giant bugs, and that's a bummer. But then it's not bugs, it's something much more than that, so it's intriguing again. The film goes up and down like that several times. Later it just seems to be ripping off The Thing, but then it's not. It's constantly toying with you and what you hope the movie is or isn't. Initially, the film feels somewhat miscast. Ben Affleck seems way too young for his leadership role at first, as he was only 25 or 26 years old at the time, and looks it. His character is supposed to be a college graduate with a lengthy stint in the FBI, which went horribly wrong, and that led him to a career as a small-town lawman. But by the time the end credits roll, I didn't have a problem with his youth. He never quite acquires his infamous "the bomb" status, but by the end, he's effective in the role. Rose McGowan seems much smarter than the character she's playing, like you could hear her eyes rolling at some of the dialogue she has to say at times.
Well, it's the devil, don't you think? Come up from hell tonight? I think he wants to dance with us.
However, Liev Schreiber is spot on and ends up being a lot of fun. Peter O'Toole is fun as well and seems to be a good sport about doing this kind of thing, but he looks as though he's going to fall over at any moment and you worry about him. Phantoms does suffer a bit from that late 90s everything is overblown to the point of being obnoxious thing, especially the sound. But hey, sometimes you want all guns to sound like cannons. I enjoyed my first ever viewing of Phantoms, and I think you might too. If you saw this one back in the day and were tired of all the late 90s Dimension horror films and or Ben Affleck movies, well, I'm not going to be able to convince you to change your mind, but if you've never seen Phantoms, give it a look. It has some interesting things going on.